Hey guys, in this video we're going to run through cutting the CJ7 frame in half and extending it to 10 inches on wheelbase and another 14 on the overall frame. It's going to be, a lot of just me in the garage cutting stuff up. I'll try and fast forward the slow parts and show you the fun parts. So we're going to add 10 inches of wheelbase and a bunch of steel to this crappy rusted frame. Let's get into it. All right, so we got a kid in the background riding a motorbike, so that should be adding some noise there. And here I'm going to start cutting this frame up. So we'll just watch this for a bit. All right, we're switching to the Sawzall here. So we're going to use the Sawzall just to finish off the bottom of the frame because there's tension on this. Actually, I think it's pretty funny. I think I squished the Sawzall blade with the frame. So let's watch that part. Just straightening the blade here. That blade was a little bent, so we'll just get that straightened back out. And I'll get back to cutting this frame. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. And the frame is cut in half. So, the video here just shows me cutting the frame in half. Obviously, before I cut this in half, I spent a bunch of time removing brake lines and fuel lines and other things that were going along the frame, the exhaust, and those types of things. So moving on here, all I'm going to do is spend some time just kind of cleaning this frame out. It's full of, it's not a great frame. Really should have bought a brand new Scrambler frame from Throttle Down Customs. All right, so the next couple scenes here, I'm kind of just working on getting the rust and crud out of this, lining stuff up, testing it, seeing about the distance, and kind of where it's at. Obviously taking pictures and videos for Instagram as we go. I think next up I will also be welding on some braces to hold that rear cross member and then working on that. So I'll run through this stuff at fast speed. So the reason I'm welding on these braces here is I'm going to actually keep that rear cross member, the middle section of it, because that holds the gas tank. And so that cross member is kind of needed anyways. So I decided to keep that, and I'm going to cut out the frame in front of it and weld in some 2x2 that actually is going to extend the frame for the Scrambler. So the cross member is going to stay there and get welded to the new piece of frame section, but it's going to be in the right spot and the gas tank's still going to fit perfectly. So here I'm just working on removing those side parts. I'm trying to, keep parts of the frame, keep that part of the cross member. I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do here. I ended up cutting that whole cross member off and it's just hanging on these braces I welded on. But at this point, I was just trying to decide what my plan was.
my plan right here is to keep this cross member, because on a Scrambler the gas tank still goes here. So if I can just keep this cross member as is, then it'll still work for the gas tank. And what I'm going to do is put a new piece of frame rail in that sticks out farther back. But obviously I'm not going to keep this part of the cross member, because I got to cut it open to put a piece in here. Yeah, the frame is not great.
Here I'm just that guy poking around inside a frame. You know, there's a ton of rust in there, and again, I should have bought a new frame, but just looking at this one and deciding what I want this project to be, I spent about $100 in steel to extend it, and obviously the time that you're looking at here, and I decided that that was the way I want to do this project. So I just cleaning some of that rust out, having fun picking that rust scab in there with whatever tools we had in the shop that day. It was actually a pretty fun adventure. Alright, so stay tuned for the next video where I go through in more detail kind of the rear and how this was all extended and how it came together.